Module 5, an introduction to the nervous system. The nervous system includes various organs, such as the brain and the spinal cord, receptors of sense organs, eyes, ears, etc., and nerves that ultimately connect the brain and spinal cord and sense organs to other systems. When we consider nervous tissue, remember there are 4 general tissue types. We had epithelial, connective, muscle, and now nervous. There are 2 main types of cells. Neurons are utilized for intracellular communication, and the neuroglial cells, or just glial cells, they assist neurons and support neurons. So they're essential to the survival and function of the neurons, as well as preserve the structure of nervous tissues. Module 5, Objective 1, describe the anatomical and functional divisions of the nervous system. If we take the nervous system as a whole, we can divide it into 2 large categories. We have the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system includes the brain and spinal cord. It consists of nervous tissues, connective tissues, and the vasculature needed to support those tissues. And the central nervous system functions to process and coordinate sensory data from both inside and outside the body. In addition to that, the central nervous system sends motor commands to control peripheral organs, such as skeletal muscles, and it also handles the higher functions of the brain associated with intelligence, memory, learning, and emotion. The peripheral nervous system includes all the tissue, the nervous tissue, outside of the central nervous system, and it acts to, 1, deliver sensory information to the CNS, but it also carries motor commands to the peripheral tissues. If you consider the brain, there's really 2 ways in which information travels. Information travels to the brain. This would be sensory information. And information travels away from the brain. This would be motor. Nerves are bundles of axons with connective tissues and vasculature that carry sensory information and motor commands to the central nervous system and away from the central nervous system. Nerves can be divided into 2 main classes. Cranial nerves come directly from the brain, so these are nerves that stem from the brain itself. And then spinal nerves come off the spinal cord. If we consider the peripheral nervous system, we can divide it into 2 main branches. The afferent division carries sensory information from receptors in the peripheral tissues to the central nervous system. So this information is traveling up towards the brain or spinal cord. The efferent division carries motor commands from the central nervous system to their effectors. And here we're really considering muscles, glands, and adipose tissue. Receptors detect changes within the environment, and they respond to those stimuli. They may be neurons or specialized cells. They may be single cells or even complex organs, such as the eye. Effectors are target organs that respond to motor commands. The efferent division of the peripheral nervous system can further be divided into the somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. Somatic nervous system controls skeletal muscles. So this is the voluntary muscle, while the autonomic nervous system controls involuntary muscles, such as cardiac and smooth. In addition to musculature, the autonomic nervous system also controls glands. The autonomic nervous system controls subconscious actions. I often think autonomic for automatic. These are things that are not voluntary. We do not have control. We do not control the pumping of the heart or the movement through organs that are surrounded by smooth muscle. We also cannot control glandular secretions. So these are all under the autonomic or automatic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is further divided into the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. Here is an overview of the nervous system. It's probably worth your time to sit down and map out these various components to understand how they're related.